Hi, welcome back to BRMC's Healthy Connections. Regina Ellis is our guest today. She's the coordinator for the Peitz Cancer Support House. Regina, tell me what we're going to be talking about today.
Well, we really want to make sure that we get some awareness. That's kind of, I guess, our focus of the year, is that we let people know not only what the Peitz Cancer Support House is and what we do, but we want to also educate people.
Absolutely.
And definitely we would love to have a world where we didn't have to have the Peitz Cancer Support House, where cancer was no longer an issue. And right now, medically, we're working towards those advancements, but we're not there yet.
Right.
One of the best things that we do know is the earlier that we can detect cancer, the sooner we can get it treated and the better the outcome is.
Right.
And we really want to focus on that currently. And in order to do that, we've got to talk about each cancer and what history, research has developed, and is very different.
Very unique.
Very different. That's one of the things I've learned in the 3 years I've been at the Peitz House is, I have information on 120 different types of cancer.
See, and I would think the average person would think, okay, breast cancer, colon cancer, lung, stomach, prostate, yeah. But to have that many different cancers identified and being worked on and research being done, so.
Yes, it's very mind-boggling. So I do have a few little cheat sheets here because I have a very small brain.
I know,
and there's
better.
And there's a lot of information.
Share some of that information with us, please.
The first thing we need to be aware of for colon cancer is that it is the second leading cause of cancer death in the U.S.
Now that I did not know. Okay. Yeah. Colon cancer.
Yes. And I'm amazed every time I go and research for a particular type of cancer. I'm amazed at the things that I find out about it, that particular type. This year they expect 150,000 Americans to be diagnosed with colon cancer.
Oh my.
Yes. So those are
those are big numbers.
Big numbers. Yeah, big numbers, yeah. Big statistics. The encouraging part about colon cancer,
okay,
because we've got to look for that encouragement.
Okay, yeah, give us that encouragement.
The Peitz House is always about encouragement. 80% of colon cancer is preventable if it's detected early enough.
And how would someone have colon cancer detected? What screening would be
There's
done?
also actually screenings that can detect abnormalities that may be forming in your colon before it even becomes cancer.
Ah, so catch
Which
it
is the
real.
best, yes, very, very early, before anything ever actually turns cancerous. And that of course, is the goal. Sure. When we're talking about colon cancer
don't become
awareness.
a statistic.
Correct.
Yep.
So what we do is we encourage people to reduce their risk through regular screenings. And it is a little individualized. There's definitely not a one-size-fits-all or one shoe that everybody's going to walk in. Go to a shoe store and you can see that.
Yeah.
So we really need to encourage people to visit with their physician.
Especially if there's a family history?
Absolutely.
That would be?
Yes, that is a major thing. Not all cancers have a hereditary factor. Colon cancer does.
Okay, so that's one of the cancers
that
if you have
someone, if you have someone in your family that has ever been diagnosed with colon cancer, your doctor needs to be aware of that.
Okay. How far back do they go as far as, are they saying oftentimes various diseases follow a paternal line or a maternal line?
And I don't think that I can answer that question for you.
I'm just curious on this, where if it's your siblings, or go back to your cousins?
From the information that I've researched, they definitely want to know if your parents, and they say parents, it doesn't say mother or father, so either siblings.
So it can come down to either side.
Yeah, so I would just, I would always encourage people to err on the side of caution.
Sure.
And give your physician too much information instead of not enough.
No, right.
That oftentimes
wise words, my dear.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, oftentimes we want to make that decision for the doctor.
Yeah.
And we really shouldn't.
No.
We should give them all the information that we have and let him assimilate that and decide what's important and what's not.
Right.
And the time period as well.
Sure.
Age 50 is when typically we begin the colonoscopy type screenings. But that can be moved up due to other risk factors or other symptoms or things like that that you might be having going on. So you definitely just want to visit with your doctor, let him know if you're having any bowel changes, just whatever's going on with you, combined with your family history, combined with some other factors, and they're going to make that determination for you.
And then the key, the marker is for kind of a general generic is the age of 50.
Yes. It recommended at the age of 50 that you begin receiving a colonoscopy.
How often, is that anything you found in your literature about how often to have one? It would probably be once again, that's going to be very specific. If you have a history, if you have family history, they're probably going to want to do it more often.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they would. Okay. And if they find anything, when you have one done, that's going to make a big determination too.
Yeah.
Typically, it's once every 10 years if there's no problems, no symptoms, nothing to look at. The reason why it's not a one-time fits all is because, of course, things change. A lot of things can change in 10 years.
Tell me about it.
You need to be reevaluated on that. Typically, colon cancer tends to be fairly slow growing. Okay. Of course, with any cancer, there's never a hard and fast 100% true, this is the way it always works. So we always have to modify that when we say, but typically it's very slow growing. So it takes about 3 to 5 years or so before you begin developing any problems with it. But that's the reason for the colonoscopy, is for them to actually go in and take a look-see.
Take a scope, take a look, see if there's any polyps, see if there's any...
Correct, right. Because many times they can remove the polyps, and then you don't have to worry about that turning into cancer later on.
Have they come, you may not be able to, I know that you're not clinical on this, nor am I.
I'm not a nurse.
You're not a nurse, no. But I always wonder, I've had a colonoscopy when I was 50. It was something doctors just absolutely said, he or she would say, go and get this done. And I can still remember the process, the procedure itself was not the challenge. It was
the prep.
The prep, and I thought, have they come a long way since since I had one done? I'm hoping. So.
Well, I still understand that the prep isn't too fun.
Yeah.
You've got to clean out everything in there in order for them to have a good look-see.
Yeah.
But the important part of that is, if you do that, they're able to have a look-see.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. It's definitely worth it in long run. I'm sure people could stop by the Peitz Cancer Support House and talk to a few colon cancer survivors, and
realize the importance of having this done.
Yes.
And you mentioned before, with the Peitz Cancer Support House is such a absolute wealth of information and knowledge. I'm sure you've got books over there that folks can take with them.
Yes.
Stop in. I know you're open 9 to 4.
Yes, 9 to 4, Monday through
Friday. Oh, we have a visitor today on our... Hi, sweetheart. This is our mascot, who comes in and makes sure that the show is running extremely well. How are we doing so far today? Yeah, okay. I know it was one of your favorite topics. So we've got, no, you can't go over there with Miss Regina because she is allergic to you.
I'll start sneezing and coughing, and then I won't be able to finish the show.
Tell us some more facts.
Well, another thing that I found that was very interesting, let me kind of get to it, is some of the risk factors.
Okay.
So some things that especially our younger people may pay attention to and hope that they can reduce their risk of getting colon cancer. And of course, we talked about family history, and you really can't do anything about family history but notify your doctor. But one of the things that I found very interesting, and I know this, I said this last time I was on the show too, physical inactivity and obesity are two of the risk factors that lead to an increase of colon cancer. So we have no excuse.
No, we don't.
To get out there and get active, and especially where we live.
Exactly.
Especially where we live.
Hold that thought and let's come back to it. We need to take a short break. We'll be right back. Wanted to pursue and delve into a little bit more about obesity and inactivity and the number of diseases that this is a correlating factor in, and how we need to really get going out there, folks. So we'll be right back.